What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode. 2 guys, 1 mic. Unfortunately, today we are missing our mic, so it could be a little hard to hear. Got to give him a little bit of a slide on this one. He's getting ready for a benefit for his father tomorrow, so we will be attending that benefit tomorrow. You guys going?
Yeah.
So, thinking about Mike Sr., but
yes.
So Mike's got a slide for tonight. It's all good, but he sent us his predictions. He sent us his guesses for the week, what he thinks the conferences are going to shake out like. He even sent us who he thinks is going to make the playoffs. So he was on top of his game.
Yes, sir.
So
it's back, man. I tell you what, football is back and it's better than ever. Oh man, dude, I'm excited.
We had to push our thing back a little bit. You know, we already had 1 game played, but we put it in text who had what pick, so we couldn't cheat on our pick'ems. But man, what a way to start it, huh?
God.
Had to rep them today, man. I had to rep them today.
I tell you what, for Kelsey to not be there, I tell you, it's a huge loss for that team. They were
huge.
I mean, there's a lot of drops. I mean, we can talk about it. I don't know if you want to talk about it now or like whatever, but holy smokes, there's a lot of players that kind of messed up.
Yeah. There's also a lot of referee messes up there. I mean, when an offensive lineman lines up as a fullback almost the entire day, you know, it may have taken away a couple of sacks from my boy Hutchinson, who we now have that new league there with all defensive players, only defensive players, and I never thought I'd get so into a defensive-sided game, but I was pretty pissed that they weren't calling stuff because they were taking away my boy's sacks and stuff. He could have had a few, but
it was definitely a game for sure. Lions pulled it off. I think I was the only one that had faith, but I think all of us we made a pact. I think we're going to continue that pact. At least one of us is going to, go with our Lions.
Yeah.
So
we did. So, all right. Well, before we go into the rest of the pickups, let's go through our AFC side, and we'll talk about records we think. I told Mike if he gets done early, go ahead and join the chat. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But let's start it off. We'll do like we did in the NFC. We'll go out west and work our way back.
That works for me.
Okay. So, let's see. West. Yep. I'm pretty sure we all have a clear-cut winner in the West, right? Not clear-cut for you. You like them bolts. Might not be clear-cut for you.
I tell you what, you're going to be shocked.
Okay.
Maybe not that shocked. But.
Well, I originally was thinking like 13, 14 wins.
Yep.
For this team, for the Kansas City Chiefs. The other Lions, they took one from them. So I'm like, well, I'll just stick with 13. I'm not going to give them that maybe 14. I'll just stick with 13. So I kept them at 13-4. I still think they're going to be a powerhouse. Kelsey comes back. I think their younger receivers can work it out there. They have Rice who can work it out. There's another young guy there. Sky Moore I think he'll be able to work something out.
Moore's that one, yep.
And there's another one.
Reed? Is it Reed? No.
No, Ross. Justin Ross.
Justin Ross.
I think that's his name. Justin Ross. I think they'll be able to work out. Kadarius Toney, I think, is going to have a case of the dropsies all year long.
God, it was bad. Bad.
But honestly, I think this team needs a running back, though. Like, I don't think they have an answer at running back.
It's interesting. Yeah, they definitely didn't have that powerhouse, and they really weren't ever. They've never really had that, workhorse back. But
yeah,
I mean, they need Kelsey back for sure. I have them at 12-5, so I feel like it's kind of respectable there. I don't think they're going to be. It's funny. It's like you always last year. It was like, how are they going to be without Tyreek Hill? Well, you got to give a lot of respect to how good of a team they are. Obviously the champs last year. So
yep.
Oh,
well, and MVS stepped up last year a few times. Juju actually stepped a little bit for him last year.
Right.
Juju's not there this year, so I think their wide receivers a struggle for him. But I think it's gonna be a heavy dose of Kelsey. Heavy dose of Kelsey.
They need Kelsey back. I mean, it's part of like it opens up lanes for other teammates. I think it's going to be a huge plus once he gets back. So.
Yep. And then Mike also has them at 12-5, so he's right on the same path. He's got them at 12-5. And then we go down to our second place team. I have the Chargers in a second. Mike also has the Chargers in a second, so that's why I say our second place team. I still think it's the Chargers doing Chargers things. They have a great team. They should do really good, but they're not going to. I have them at 8 and 9.
Woo!
It's the Chargers being the Chargers, man.
Oh man, that hits the heart a little. I get it. It's one of those teams where it's like you want them to be good. You want them. It's honestly, it's like you really feel like they have all of the pieces, and then they end up letting you know.
Yep.
It's weird. I don't know, but I tell you what, this year, bold prediction. Like last year, I have them also at 12-5. I know it's crazy.
Okay.
I have them both at 12-5, and I think that they have the opportunity to potentially maybe make a push for first place.
Okay. All right. Now, I would love for them to actually be 12-5 because that means Justin Herbert's doing something, and I got him on the fantasy team. I got him and Keenan Allen as my 1-2 punch. I think Mike's a little bit more on my way, but I think he's got a little bit more faith in the Chargers. He's got him at 9 and 8.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely way over. Either.
You love the Chargers. You like the West Coast guys, Niners, Chargers. You're all about them, so.
I am, yeah.
It's all right. And then I'm going to safely say probably everybody's third place team is the Broncos. I don't know. You could surprise me again. You like to throw wild cards in there here and there, but I think the Broncos improved from last year. I think Sean Payton's a better coach than what they had last year.
Sure.
Who was it, Nathaniel Hackett?
Yeah. Nathaniel wasn't the answer. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think they got some pieces. They got some young talent on defense and stuff like that. So I think they can make an improvement from last year, but I still have them at like 7 and 11.
Yeah, pretty close with you. I have them 6 and 11. I don't know. Is that correct?
7 and 10. 7 and 10 for me. Sorry.
7. Okay, yeah, because I'm like, wait, am I 6? I have them at 6 and 11. I don't know what their record ended up. Wasn't it like 4 in 12, 4 and 13?
I think it was 5 and 12. I want to say it was 5 and 12, but I don't know for sure. But I think it was only 4 or 5 wins.
Alright, so I mean, I give him a little bit of bump. I mean, I just feel like, I don't know. I wonder if Russell Wilson is going to actually be that player, so we'll see.
Yep. And Mike was high on Denver last year, and I think he's still a little bit high on him this year. Not too crazy high, but he's got 8 and 9 for Denver.
Yeah.
It's respectable. I mean, he's got him higher than the rest of us, but he's got him by 1 game over me, 2 games over you.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, that's for sure. They're definitely a team where you just don't know what's going to happen, right?
You really don't. And what Russ is going to show up. I did see a report that Sean Payton told Russell Wilson to focus more on football and less on the brand of Russell Wilson and kissing babies.
Kissing babies. Really funny. Yeah.
That's interesting. Let's see if he takes the advice and focuses or not. But I feel like Sean Payton, Pete Carroll, that's the kind of coach he needs. Someone who's not going to let him slide because his name's Russell. Someone's going to make him actually to work.
Yeah, true.
So
We'll see,
it'll be interesting. It will be interesting. Which brings us to the bottom of the barrel in the West. The Las Vegas Raiders. And I think loss is a very good thing in front of their name because they are lost. They are completely lost. I have them at 5 and 12. I don't think Garoppolo makes the whole year. I don't know who's their backup.
It's that one guy they're comparing to Super Troopers. Farva.
Isn't it Stidham or something like that? Stitham or...
Yeah, he might...
He's an expatriate, right? Or is he either the expatriate or is it something else?
I know that they were saying this rookie, was starting to impress them a lot. I don't know.
Okay.
There was this option. While you're looking that up, I have them at 6-11. I think that honestly, I just don't know. I saw a couple games, kind of maybe throw them, but honestly, I would not be surprised if they were not good. But Jimmy G, it's tough because he's never been a terrible quarterback. So
health is his issue, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden
O'Connell is who it is. Yeah. Then I think Mike likes Jimmy G. He's picked him up on his fantasy team for one of his quarterbacks. He's got him at 7-10. So.
Right?
Right. He's got a little faith in him.
That's true. And it's great for me.
So that's the West. Other than the Chargers maybe making a push at the Chiefs, I don't really see anybody challenging the Chiefs in that division.
I don't think so. I think it'll be pretty 1-2 punch at least. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So why don't we come back and go south? We'll go to the south next.
Well, I like the south. South is interesting.
I think the South gets some good records because they play favorable matchups.
Each other.
Yeah. So I have.
They're also playing. Aren't they playing? I'm sorry, not to. Aren't they playing the NFC South as well?
I think so. I'm pretty sure they do, and that's why they have some favorable matchups for them.
Yep.
Yeah. So this one I think is interesting. I have the Jags winning this one with a record of 11-6.
Same.
Yeah. But one of those 6 games they're going to lose is going to be October 29th in Pittsburgh when yours truly is sitting in the stadium watching it.
Let's go.
So that's what I'm excited about. But I think they did some things last year, and I think they have a chance to do some more things this year. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think they have a lot of weapons on offense. I think Trevor Lawrence is a really good quarterback. He's only getting better. He was like that next Peyton Manning. He was really his rookie year kind of, I don't know, wasn't great, but he's improved a lot. They have some really good running backs. A 1-2 punch there with a new rookie.
Tanks Bigsby's gonna be good.
Yeah. Receivers are pretty decent. You got Ridley, who's coming back. I think honestly their offense is going to be good. We'll see about their defense, and if it all comes together, it's really going to be the question.
And they got some studs on defense. Josh Allen on their defensive end.
Yep.
He's a good sack guy. They got some other pieces there. And you said 11-6 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mike also has them winning the division at 11-6.
Look at that.
So there's another one. There's 3 across the board, 11-6. Then I think the next team I have up is the Titans, and this is an interesting team to me. And again, I think they have a favorable schedule. So I think this is going to be one of those teams that's not as good as their record says they are, but they get a good record.
Right.
So I have the Titans going 9-8.
I also have them at 9-8. Yeah.
But again, it's because they play the AFC South, they play the NFC South, and I think Derrick Henry comes back.
Something, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to lose, somebody's got to win.
Yeah, and I hope it's a Derrick Henry show since I have him on fantasy again this year, or fantasy this year. So, but Mike's got him at 8-9, so he's just one below us. But again, like I said before, it's the favorable schedule, playing both Souths. Out of that, what are they really?
Yep.
Jaguars is going to be the toughest team for them, I think, out of the South to 2 Souths. There's really nobody in the NFC South that makes me think he's going to be.
Yeah, I think the biggest question mark is going to be who's going to be QB1, right? Well, we already know Ryan Tannehill is probably going to be QB1. And what QB are we going to get, right? Are we going to get a game manager who actually is a pretty good quarterback?
Right.
Not great, but are we going to get those consistencies? And is Hopkins going to be back to his normal self, or is it going to be older Hopkins?
It's going to be a Julio.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, going to be. I think that's where it's like the 9-8 is kind of like you hope kind of that they're going to be okay, but it's also a favorable schedule.
Yeah. They have a tendency now to get an older receiver who's just past their prime. They did it with Randy Moss. They did it with Julio Jones, and now they have DeAndre Hopkins.
And Adrian Johnson.
Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson.
Yes. I forgot about that, but you're right. Andre Johnson did that too. Yeah. So we'll see. I like D Hop. I hope he has another couple good years in him. But Father Time's undefeated, so.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, it also kind of pains me to talk about these guys who are like early 30s as old.
I know, right?
All right, so then next, yeah, right. I don't know which way you're going. I have the Colts and the Texans tied again.
Okay.
Mike's got the Colts ahead of the Texans, so I don't know which one you want to go with next.
I'll split it because I have the Colts higher. I have them at 7-10, and I know that might be like a little bit of a bold prediction, but I'm almost on the hype of Anthony Richardson and what he's gonna do. I'm excited. He's gonna be one of those players that I'm like excited to see what he does in the NFL.
Okay. So you got some hope for Pittman?
I mean, he's got to throw to somebody, right? Like,
yeah.
So,
what about the whole Jonathan Taylor thing? You think that affects it at all?
So Jonathan Taylor's talking about fantasy football. It's not my team, so I'm hoping that 4 weeks comes back and it's looking incredible. I'm a little worried. I didn't realize, all the talks about shutting him down, or like, is he going to be coming back? Like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I feel like for purposes of wins for the team, I think that Jonathan Taylor needs to be there to be successful.
Okay, all right. So then, Mike has them at 6-11.
Okay.
And I have them at 5-12. I just don't see a lot with the Colts team. They got a couple.
Yeah.
They got a couple good guys on defense. Jonathan Taylor when he's healthy, and the thing you can hope for, especially you considering you have him on a fantasy team, thing they can hope for the Colts organization is that he wants out of there so bad that when he comes back, he tries to prove it to somebody else.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're gonna prove it to somebody else, and they're gonna be like, if we don't get you back, we're gonna work you like crazy this year.
Yeah. Yep. So that could help the Colts, but Anthony Richardson, I think he's gonna have it. I didn't have a lot of hype out of him out of college, so I think he's gonna struggle. I think he will struggle.
I feel like it's such a hard cold. Like, people are like, I hate the dude, or like, I'm super excited, and I'm on that total bandwagon of like, this guy's 6'4", Cam Newton style, can run over people, and is so fast. I don't know. It's
okay. It's like they say, any given Sunday, my man. Any given Sunday. You never know.
And I go to playoffs, so
yeah. They're still in that rebuild.
For sure.
But hopefully for them, Anthony Richardson takes them in a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Maybe they can use Jonathan Taylor to trade and get some draft capital and help build up. I still love Quentin Nelson.
Yep.
He's my favorite.
He's a good lineman, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So.
A part of me, it's really funny as a competitor and a friend of ours. You never love to see, like, you always are like rooting for, but also against. And Ryan is a huge Colts fan, and so it's like always like you root for him, but you also like love to see another fun, like a friend like squirm a little bit.
Right.
That's where the Colts are.
Well, and like with Ryan, I think the case of Ryan is because he has a lot of knowledge. Like, he knows what he's talking about, but he's not overly cocky to a point. Like, he'll tell you when his team sucks.
Oh, for sure, yeah. He's critical on his own team.
But he likes to trash talk, so anybody who likes to trash talk, you like to see their team squirm a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Packers,
Gas station pizza from last year, right? So yeah, that was the South. Oh, no, Texans. Who you got Texans at?
Yes, Texas.
I have the Texans also at 5-12 with the Colts. I'm
sorry, did you want to...
I was just saying, my biggest thing with them is Dameon Pierce's health.
Yep.
I think he needs to stay healthy in order for them to do something.
Yep. It's interesting to see like what's going to happen. I feel like they're in this rebuild. Obviously, new head coach. Remind me what his name is.
Did they take D'Amico Ryans?
Yes, thank you, D'Amico Ryans. So D'Amico Ryans came from San Francisco. Great player, right? Young guy going in there. Everybody's hyped for it. I mean, it'll be interesting to see that. And then also the new quarterback, so
yeah.
C.J. Stroud.
I mean, if you're a Texans fan, watching what they're doing this offseason, you got to have some kind of excitement for them. You go out and you get the young defensive coach. You draft the quarterback. Then you make a trade to get right back into the top 3 again. I think it was second pick, right? And they took, was it Will Anderson?
They took second pick was CJ, and then the third one they came back in and got Will Anderson.
Okay, so it's 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
I mean,
crazy.
If you're a fan, you got to be excited for that. It means they're willing to make some moves to try to get better.
Yep. So. Yeah, it's kind of like the organization got their quarterback, and then D'Amico got his linebacker.
Right.
Like his guy.
I bet you they were watching Kevin Costner's draft day, like, on repeat, trying to figure out what they're going to do.
It reminded me of that, for sure.
But, yeah, I mean, I still don't think they're a good team, but I think, like you said, rebuild, they're doing some things that if I was a fan, I'd be excited of.
Yeah, for sure. I have them at 5 and 12, by the way.
Okay, so we all have them at 5 and 12.
All right.
We all have them at 5 and 12, so that's. I think they're taking some steps. Excitement's coming from them. I think they do have the ability to shock some people this year. Squeeze a game or two.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
So, all right, now that's the South. Now we're all done with the South there. I feel like we're gypping the fans when we get to the North because it's not going to be a 3-way discussion on the North, but we'll still follow our format, and maybe Mike will get in before then if he has a chance. Maybe not, but so we'll go to the East right now and save the North for last.
East is exciting, man.
East has some players this year.
Holy smokes!
So, now with that being said, Mike's got some surprise. I wish he was here to explain his reasoning, but Mike's got some surprises in there. Let's start at the bottom.
I feel like we all have this as the bottom.
And work our way up.
Okay.
The Patriots, which I love seeing, I have at the bottom and Mike has at the bottom. I have them at 6 and 11. I was down on them last year at like 4 and whatever. This year I give them a couple more wins. And Mike has them at 5 and 12, so he's thinking right around the same as me.
Yikes, that's low, but I got them at 6 and 11 too. I mean, they're last place, and this division's good, and they're gonna lose a lot of divisional games. I feel so.
Yeah, I think I have them having one divisional win, as against Miami, but you can never really count out Belichick.
It's true.
You can never really count out Belichick, which is the thing. Like he's a mastermind of two things. He's a mastermind of getting the best out of his players and cheating. Man knows how to cheat, all right?
Can I mention one thing, too?
Yeah.
I think they got a huge upgrade. Not a player, coach, offensive coach, in Bill O'Brien.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a huge, huge, huge plus for them. If they're going to do anything, it's because of that, where where Bill Belichick doesn't have to worry at all
Right.
about the offense because he doesn't have to worry about what the judge and Patricia trying to come in and trying to be an offensive coordinator. So
Right. Yeah, but I still think they're at the bottom of the barrel. And then next, I have the Dolphins, and so does Mike. Mike and I both have the Dolphins as the next team. I'm actually not as high on the Dolphins this year as it was last year, and the main reason for that is Tua's concussions. And their running back by committee. I feel like their running back by committee is always hurt. And Tua's concussions. I put them at 7-10. I have them lower than probably most people talking football. I have the Dolphins lower.
Right. I think that's a bold prediction in itself.
Yeah.
The record.
Yeah.
Maybe not where they're at, but actually the record itself.
Right.
Regressing. Where does Mike have them at? I'm interested.
9-8.
9-8. I'm gonna blow your guys' minds.
Okay.
Like, this is the most hyped team I think for a lot of people, but I got them really high. I have them at 13-4, winning the division.
Really? You have them winning this division?
I do.
I mean, if Tua's healthy,
right?
I got you. I understand. They were rolling last year. When he was healthy. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, their defense was playing awesome. They got Bradley Chubb now helping out. They got pieces. So I get you, but I'm concerned with the health factor of the Dolphins.
Health is the biggest thing. If they can click on all cylinders, right? We got all of their running backs are not healthy, right? Besides Mostert, the other two are not healthy. Ramsey as a cornerback, great player, but hurt right now, right? You got the two stud cornerbacks. Once he comes back, Rhodes is going to be on the other side. Like, I think if everybody comes together, this team is going to be, like, I don't know, at 13-4, unstoppable. So
right. I mean, as I sit here and I'm looking at my predictions, I'm like, dude, why did I put the Dolphins at 7-10? Like, they're better than 7-10. But I got them at 7-10.
I mean, 10-7, right?
I don't know.
I feel like they're going to be closer to me than you.
I think. Well, probably they're probably. But I think Tua's health is my biggest thing. Does he come back as the same form as he was last year, or is he a little bit more cautious? You know, I don't know. Tua's a huge question mark.
But if he is there and he was playing the way he was, man, they are a good team. So health is huge.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually I'm stunned now looking at what I wrote down, but I'm really stunned that you went winning the division with them.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I know, it's crazy.
I respect it. I mean, you got family members, right? You got family members to think of.
My brother-in-law and my sister are fans, so it's a little biased.
Okay. So then, we're all in a disagreement as who our second place team is going to be. Then, I'll let you go with your third place team.
So my third place team, it's kind of a little bit of a tight race. So the Jets are technically going to be my third team at 10-7.
Okay. Okay. So you took the Jets at 10-7.
Yeah.
Okay. I also have the Jets at 10-7 as my second place team.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, I think there's a lot of hype with Aaron Rodgers coming in. They have pieces. Health's another big factor for me.
Yep.
Health is another big factor. Here's Mike's curveball. He has the Jets at 14-3, winning the division.
14-3.
Yeah, that's why I said I wish he was here, man. I wish he was here to tell us why he's got the Jets at 14-3.
3 losses.
3 losses.
He's doing the Josh Ramirez from last year with the Packers, the 14-3.
Yeah. I think he might be a Jets fan, like closeted Jets fan.
He's a closet Jets fan.
Or a Rodgers fan. He just knows Roger owns the Cowboys, so he's like, let's give Daddy some credit.
That's my dad.
14-3 for the Jets. We're gonna have to ask him about that next week.
God, that's a lot.
I mean, they got Hall and Cook as their running backs, and Carter still, right?
Yep.
They got Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard.
They added what's the guy from McCall
Hardman. They still Cobb's there. That's an old reliable for him. They got a pretty solid line. They got a good defense. So, I mean, I get it. They're gonna win some games, but 14-3. I don't know about.
I think we're gonna end up saying, okay, we met in the middle. Yeah. Right? They're gonna be like a good team. The only reason why I put them so low was because I'm like, if the Dolphins are winning 13 games, like, you know what I'm saying? Where
there's got to be losses somewhere else.
Right. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I don't know what I did with them, but I think the Patriots got swept by the division. They don't win a divisional game, and I think the rest of them split.
Right.
So, Dolphins might have gotten swept by one of the teams. They must have. I got them down at 7 wins.
Right.
So, which then brings us to our upstate New York team.
Not the favorite by everybody.
Actually, sounds like just me is the favorite for the division. Yep. Interestingly enough, though, Mike and I have them at the same record, which is 11-6.
Okay, and I have just one under at 10-7, and it hurt me a little bit to like have them so low.
Yeah.
But I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah. This was another one of our like adopted teams last year. Like,
yeah,
we were on the Bills bandwagon for a long time last year. They kind of fizzled out at the end of the year, though.
It's tough not to root for like Josh Allen, locals. You know, a lot of fans.
Yep.
You know, throwing themselves into tables. How do you not?
And then they have the added factor. Everyone's got a DeMar Hamlin. You know.
Yes.
You walk into the Dick's House of Sports, and the jerseys they're selling for the Bills are Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and DeMar Hamlin.
That's crazy.
You
that's
know,
cool though.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I said, you'd think a area like this would try to get some Daquan jerseys up there.
Right? Yeah, because isn't he from the area?
Yeah, he graduated Johnson City.
Yeah, you would think, maybe,
right? I think he was like 4 years younger than me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know him in high school. I know of him, talking to like some of the guys I used to play lacrosse with, talking to them and stuff. I knew of him, but I didn't know who he was.
Right.
Alright, so on to the north. The East is going to be interesting. We're going to have to bring the East back up next week when Mike's here with us.
It's really going to be interesting, especially because all three of us have different teams.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's probably ever happened. Like, we have one team that's, you know, over the other or whatever, but all three of us have different.
Yeah, usually there's at least two of us with the same team.
Right.
Usually, so. Interesting.
Yeah. But to the north, baby. To the north.
Alright, so let's start. I'm going to start off by saying I got hope this year. Watching the preseason, watching how things were lining up, watching what the Steelers front office did. They did some sneaky stuff this offseason that people just don't realize.
We're not realizing it.
You don't. You know why? Because you're looking for glitz and glam, all right? You're going for the glitz and glam, the high profile. We're going in the gutter, man. We're going down in the trenches, and we're finding some workers. But we'll get to there. Let's start in the basement. The Hard Rock City, all right?
Well, yeah, let's start there, because they're at the bottom.
They're down there. I put the Browns, and Mike also put the Browns at 7-10.
Please sweep.
Really, this is surprising me how many teams we all are like, yeah, they're right there. Like, we're always close by like a game or whatever, but we got quite a few teams where we all agree the same record.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Browns. Again, I think the AFC North has a favorable schedule. If I remember correctly, I think they play the AFC South.
I think you're right. They played the NFC South. The Rams, the 49ers, right?
That's the West.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's the West.
That's the West. But they play...
No, because they couldn't play the South because...
Well, they do play the South because they play Jacksonville, Tennessee, Houston, and Indy. But they also do play the West. They play in NFC. They play Arizona, Seattle, San Fran, and the Rams.
Okay, right. So we're both on the same page.
Yeah, so they do have some the whole division does have some favorable games because those divisions are not full of like powerhouses, you know.
Right.
So they got some very winnable games. So I put them at 7-10. Mike's got them at 7-10. You got them at 7-10. Nick Chubb, I think, has a good year this year. They got some good things on defense. Amari Cooper can show he can still do it on the side. I don't think you're getting Deshaun Watson from the Texans walking through the door at all.
Yeah, I agree with you. You wonder. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just a tough division.
Yeah.
And I just don't think they're as good as the other three teams. So.
Yeah. Where did they go in the draft this year? I don't remember what they went with in the draft this year.
Did they have a draft pick because of Watson?
Oh, that's right. They traded it to Houston.
Right.
That's right.
And then Houston traded up.
That's right. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. And they traded for Elijah Moore too. Right.
Yeah. So I mean, and I really liked him on the Jets. They just never gave him the opportunity. So.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they got some weapons, but like you said, they're just not as good as the other three teams.
Yeah, I think that's the issue.
Yeah. We're saving Pittsburgh for last, so on to Baltimore.
We have to. Yeah, we have to.
On to Baltimore. I actually have Baltimore third place in this division at 10-7.
I also have them at 10-7, but not in third place. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, you probably got Mike. You and Mike probably have Pittsburgh in the same spot. Mike has the Ravens in second at 12-5.
And that's high.
Yes.
I mean, they're.
Well, so now here's my thing with Baltimore, because it pains me to say this, and because I hate Baltimore, but on paper, they have a roster that says 12-5. On paper.
Right, I agree. They're a good team.
Transitioning into the field, they're not going to play those many games.
Hurt.
Yeah, their running backs are always hurt. Odell's always hurt. Beckham, Lamar gets hurt.
Yep.
I think
Mark Andrews.
He's their most consistent. Mark Andrews is their most consistent, and he even got hurt. Yeah, he even got hurt.
Yeah.
So it again, like I said last year, the Ravens' biggest question mark is their health.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what Zay Flowers does for them.
Listen, I have them in fantasy, and I've heard a lot of things about him on a different podcast, and they are blowing him up. So I'm like, I need to get him.
Yes, there is a lot of talk about high expectations for him.
Yep.
So now you have Odell Beckham, you have Rashad Bateman, and you have Zay Flowers all out there. Andrews when he's healthy, J.K. Dobbins when he's healthy.
Yeah.
They could put, and then Lamar, like they could put up a lot of wins.
It could be scary, honestly, because their defense is like always good.
Yeah.
So.
And they added Jadeveon Clowney.
Yep.
Now, whether they're getting Jadeveon Clowney from the University of South Carolina or the one from the Browns, we don't know.
Right.
But they are in the AFC North. It's a smash mouth division. You come and you play hard, you play tough, which is why they have so many health issues. I think it's because the style you play. It's like a car wreck, man.
Yep. It's like Seattle, the Legion of Boom, where they all just start getting killed because they're getting hurt because they're just destroying people.
Yeah. Like they're literally using their bodies as missiles.
Right.
Like it's just crazy. Then we go on to, I have the Bengals winning this division.
I do too.
Yeah, and so does Mike. Mike has Cincy winning this.
Where we got him?
I have him at 12-5.
Okay.
Mike's got him at 13-4.
I also had them at 13-4.
Which now, like I'm like look, because the way I wrote his things out, I have the North and the East written. Excuse me, written side by side, and he has the Jets winning more games than the Chiefs and the Bengals.
I mean, it's bold, man. It's bold.
I don't know what he's doing this year. His Saints and his Jets, man. I don't know.
Interesting.
But yeah, I have the Bengals 12-5. Joe Burrow is a dog, man. He is just.
He's one of the most humble, like, awesome. Like everybody wants to root for him. You want to root for him, and you're a Steelers fan. Like, it's.
I think he's a cocky asshole. But I love it. I love it. But I think he's a cocky asshole.
I don't find.
It's his swag. It's his presence about him. It's like he's that one that like he's a pretty boy. He's good playing, and he doesn't really talk the trash. All his teammates talk it for him, but he shows up in the fur coats and the designer sunglasses and the chain. You know, like
the Namath, like the Joe Namath.
Yeah,
you know, like,
he's got the big giant cigar. Like I love it. I do love it. I don't like that he plays for the Bengals because we have years of torment with him playing for the Bengals.
And congratulations to him as being the highest paid NFL player. Just got a contract, so.
Yeah. Now, I did just see today where the Bengals do not plan on offering T. Higgins a contract past this year.
You want him to come to Steelers?
I mean, I'd take him, yeah. I don't know if I want him there. We have some decent receivers, which we'll talk about. But I'd take him.
Yeah. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah.
Be your number 2.
Yeah. Probably. But, I mean, you look at their roster. They have Burrow. They have Mixon. They have Higgins. They have Boyd. They have Chase. They did take a hit on defense losing Jesse Bates, though.
Yeah, they did.
Their defense, it has some players. It does have some players on there, but they just don't have those standout guys, I don't think.
Well, like kind of like the Steelers in the Ravens, where it's like those dog mentality, like players, like they don't have that really as much. They used to, but I feel like they don't have that level of, I don't know. Their defense, but their offense is like, Jamar Chase is like incredible. Right.
See, now, like, they can play those NFC North games, those hard-nosed, pounded out, gritty fighting style games. They have those guys. Yep. But they also can flip the switch and go into Kansas City and have a shootout.
Right. Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's like the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah, it's so awesome.
so awesome.
I can't wait to watch these guys all want more money and have to break off. But yeah, I mean, I didn't care. The Bengals are good. I like them. I don't like them. I dislike them, but I don't hate them.
Like the Lions for me. Actually, I kind of like the Lions more, but like
they would be my number 2 team in the AFC North. I hate the Browns, and I definitely hate the Ravens more than I hate the Bengals.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, like I said, they have. I've seen a lot of people picking them for Super Bowl winners this year.
It's going to be interesting for sure. All right, so now let me get an introduction here.
Okay.
The last team we talk about in the whole AFC, the previously known gas station pizza, has now been taken away. They had impressed last year. Mike and I both have to say that we were wrong. That they were way better than they were perceived to be. And respectfully, I mean, as far as myself and Mike, because I saw what he had them at, I think we both respect them, but not enough to put them in the same category as our boy, which I did. I have them at 9-8.
All right, which is respectable. I mean, they're going to continue. That's what they did last year. They continue their winning ways. They're getting there, but not so fast, my friend. I have them at 11-6.
Woo! Bold prediction.
Well, everyone's got to have one, right? It's not quite the 15-2 we heard last year from some people and their teams, but realistically, it's not that far off from what they can actually do. Realistically, you guys have them at 9-8. I have them taking 2 more games. That's something they can do. Watching them this off season and this preseason, I feel as though Kenny Pickett has given Matt Canada the big old FU and says, I'm going to call my own damn plays. This is not the same offense that Matt Canada was running. They weren't dinking and dunking in the preseason. They were opening it up. They were scoring points, which they weren't doing a whole lot last year in the beginning of the season.
Right. Right.
There's a lot of excitement about this team. They went out and they fixed the trench. They fixed the foundation first, man. They didn't go for the glitz and the glam. They were like, let's build it from the foundation up. Let's go get us some big old guys to open up some running holes and to protect Kenny Pickett. That Samalu or whatever his name is that they brought over from Philly, he's been awesome.
Yeah, good player.
He's been awesome. Yeah. They did some really good things in the draft. Broderick Jones is not quite where I thought he would be, but Daniel Moore is playing really well at left tackle right now anyways, so it's okay for him to sit and learn a little bit. Getting Joey Porter Jr. in the first pick of the second round, thank you, Chicago.
Steal.
Such a steal, and he's there's been some criticism on him in practice about letting up some big plays, but he's guarding George Pickens. You're gonna give up some big plays. I got some high expectations for them. I hope TJ Watt can stay healthy all year. That'll be a big thing. They did just grab the Herbig, the other outside linebacker from Wisconsin.
Yep.
He fits their scheme very well. He can plug in. Alex Highsmith on the other side, I think will have a good year. Minka's always good.
What a stud.
Cam Hayward is getting up there in age, but he still consistently plays at a high level.
He's reliable.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Reliable.
Yeah. So that's going to be a position for them to look at coming up. That nose tackle or DN or whatever. They still have Larry Abanagu or whatever his name is. He played well for him last year. DeMarvin Leal played well for him last year. They're starting at the lines and building out, which is I think you got to do.
I think it's a smart play.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, because I don't know, how is Kenny going to do this year? I feel like he definitely was one of those players where he improved quite a bit throughout the season. He's a good player. Is he the future for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
That's a good question. That is a really good question. Down the stretch, he won 8 of their last 9 games.
Yep.
For them. At least 2 of them were comeback wins that he had the poise to do as a rookie. And watching the preseason game, it kind of looked like that first string offense was picking right up where they left off at the end of last season.
Yep. They're looking good.
They're doing good. I think, and it pains me to say this, and I really hope I'm wrong, but I think Najee Harris is on the hot seat this year.
I agree. I 100% agree with you.
I was so hyped about them getting Najee Harris that I wanted them to have him so bad. I thought he played great his rookie year, and things have not been progressing. Now, maybe it was just a sophomore slump last year, and he could break out of it, but when you got guys like Jalen Warren behind you, just making big plays, your seat's warming up. I mean, look at Dallas, Zeke and Tony Pollard, man.
Yep.
If it wasn't for Tony Pollard, I don't think they would have let Zeke go. I think they would have rode Zeke until the end of his contract.
For sure. But you got some up and comings.
Yeah.
And Warren is good.
He is good. I hope they can turn it into a 1-2 punch, and it kind of motivates Najee. And I know his rookie year they used him a lot, and last year they tried to cut him down a little bit. And I would imagine they'd give him a share load this year, especially because Jalen Warren has shown he's good. But there's some Freiermuth is good on the tight end position.
Yep.
And then there's a lot of hype for that Washington they took, the giant guy.
I like him a lot.
Dude, I hope he lives up to his hype because he's
huge.
Yeah, he's gonna be a great red zone target.
Yeah, it's a monster.
Connor Haywood is our third string tight end. Also our fullback, because we don't really play with a fullback, but he's listed as tight end fullback. So there's a lot. I got a lot of hope for the Steelers. They're no longer gas station pizza. They are New York style pizzeria. Okay.
There you go. That's the best of the best.
What?
I'm gonna say, listen, it might be Papa John's.
Listen, Pro Football Talk had them in the AFC Championship game against Kansas City.
Pro Football Talk, they might not be number one in Sports Center, but
So, I think it'll be I'm just glad it's back. I think it'll be a good season. Definitely a good season. Good time to get things rolling. So, with that said, why don't we run through our AFC playoff teams?
Yes, I agree. Yeah, we got to go through them again.
I have the South holding tight on the 4th seed with the Jaguars.
Okay. So, mine, let me see.
And it looks like Mike does too. Mike has the Jags as a 4th seed too.
So I do too. Jags at the 4th, yep.
Okay. Alright. And then 3rd seed, I have the Bills in the 3rd seed as the winner of the East. Mike has the Chiefs in the 3rd seed as the winner of the West.
And I also have the Chiefs as the 3rd seed.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. And then the 2nd seed, Mike and I both have Cincy.
I also have Cincy as my 2nd.
There you go, another clean sweep. Which rounds us out with the number 1 overall seed in the AFC.
Everybody being different.
Everybody has a different one. You guys have the same division. I have the Chiefs in Kansas City. Mike has the Jets out of the East, and you have
the Dolphins.
Of course, the Jets and the Dolphins. Why wouldn't they both be on number 1 seed? Why not? So that's our divisions, and then for the wild card, Mike has his wild cards as Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and the Chargers.
Interesting. Yeah, I was interested with the Steelers being part of that grouping because my guys are kind of way higher than that, but not way higher, but I have a very different grouping.
Yeah.
I have the Bills, the Jets, and then the Chargers. Chargers are number 1.
Bills, Jets, Chargers. Okay.
Yeah, Chargers are the top because they were 12-5. But
so Mike has the Steelers and the Chargers winning the wild card by tiebreakers with Miami, because he has Miami at Steelers, Dolphins, and Chargers all at 9 and 8.
Wow. Okay.
My wild cards, I have the Steelers, the Jets, and then I was going to put who was it? I don't know who it was. I was going to put somebody else in there, And I was like, no, I can't be that biased. I can't hate on the Ravens that bad. So I put the Ravens in there too.
Yeah, I had them missing, which, I mean, the talk that you've been talking, I'm like, man, I kind of have them low. They were actually also tied with the Jets and the Bills, but I'm like, I kind of want the Dolphins, Bills, and Jets all to be in the playoffs. So I was like, just throw them out.
Yeah. So I have 3 out of the 4 North teams in. I have the Bengals, Steelers, and Ravens.
And I have all on the East.
Yeah.
So
I think Mike's spread out pretty good actually.
Yeah. Yep.
No, he's got 3 North teams in. He's got Cincy, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys are definitely high on the North.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what it is. We'll have to see who gets the gas station pizza award this year. I have a feeling it may be made out of Wisconsin cheese. I don't know. We'll see. But your boy Watson's already out, dude.
Listen, he's gonna be fine. You don't worry about him. All right, we're good.
All right. Is Dobbs gonna play?
He's questionable too. So we're gonna be relying on our running backs.
So it's a good game to have Aaron Jones or AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
That's our rundown of the AFC. I feel like the AFC may be a little bit more interesting this year than the NFC.
They're crazy. I mean, so interesting point. Just before we leave, they were talking about they're like, who in the NFC is the star quarterbacks? And then if you look at the AFC and you have so many quarterbacks, they're like Jalen Hurts. Okay, name the next best one. Like, you can't. It's hard. What, Dak Prescott? Like, is that going to be your number 2?
Right. Well, that's interesting. Let's because Kirk struggles.
Yeah, is he really a top tier? You know.
Fields could be the number 2.
So that's what they were saying. They're like, Fields could potentially be the Hurts of next year.
Right.
You know, or this year. You know.
If Stafford comes back the way he used to be, he could do it.
Right. Stafford could potentially be. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, Geno, you know, like,
right.
Dak, Daniel Jones, is he going to make the step? But I mean, you look at the AFC, you know, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. I mean, literally,
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, so many. Lamar, like, there's so many.
Wow, I never even thought of that. Like, seriously, the number 2 quarterback in the NFC could be Jared Goff.
Could be.
That is crazy. Derek Carr could have went from the basement of his conference to the top of his conference just because he switched.
Yep. It's crazy.
Wow, that is nuts. I never thought about that before. They are. Yeah. All the powerhouse QBs are kind of in the AFC.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're all going to be kind of on the Fields hype train this year. I think we all kind of are starting to gain some respect and some hype for him.
It's so crazy for me to say this because it's like they're in my division, but I'm excited to see him play. So I don't want him to win, but
I get you, Joe Burrow, man. I hear you.
Yeah. Yep. But
all right. Well, that sounds good. That's pretty cool. I didn't even think about those quarterback stuff.
Yeah,
cool.
interesting. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for our preview here. Next week we'll have Mike back with us. We'll run down what happened in week 1. We'll ask him where he was going with this Jets stuff. I don't even know, man. I'm gonna chalk it up being distracted. I think he's distracted this week. So
it was definitely bold for sure.
Yeah, it's bold. So, all right. Well then, till next time. That's 2 guys.
Guys.
1 Mike.
Where's
he at? Peace.
Yeah.